Legislation in June to cut $38 billion in spending, but it ended up spending 5% more this year than it did last year, leading to a whopping $1.3 trillion deficit. Why can't the government stop spending? Let's bring in economist and author of the Thomas Sowell Reader, Professor Thomas Sowell himself. Professor Sowell, it's a pleasure, as always. Welcome back to Freedom Watch.
Good to be back.
How did we get here? How did we come to this point in 2011 where we have $16 trillion in debt, where the debt goes up $1.3 trillion each year, and where now even Republicans seem to be seduced into thinking that we should borrow money and that we don't have and spend it on repairing highways?
Well, I'm afraid I feel like the cleaning lady who says I don't do windows. I don't explain Republicans. It's beyond my powers.
All right. How did the economy get in the mess that it's in today?
Spending. And there are people who think that if you call spending stimulus, that will stimulate the economy, or if you call it a jobs bill, or now they're calling it an infrastructure, but it's all just spending.
Do you think that the president stands a chance at being reelected with 9.2% unemployment, with the government spending, all government spending at about 40% of gross domestic product, with things as bad as they are now, Professor Sowell?
I'm afraid I do think so. Don't forget that Franklin D. Roosevelt was elected after 2 consecutive terms in which the unemployment rate never got as low as it is today, but the unemployment rate was always in double digits every single month for 2 consecutive terms. So it can be done.
Well, what can be done? What would you do if you had the power of the purse and the power of writing legislation?
Oh, good heavens, I would just abolish whole cabinet departments, starting with commerce, labor, education, probably interior as well. But that's something they needn't worry about, because I have no political skills.
Well, I guess we also needn't worry about, because the big government folks in both parties seem to think that they can generate their own re-election by spending money that we don't have on services that the Constitution doesn't even authorize the federal government to perform. How about this? How about if we cut the corporate tax rate down to 0, cut capital gains down to 0? Wouldn't that be a stimulus to the economy that would cut unemployment, not down to 0, but certainly far less to where it is today?
Oh, absolutely. If you look at what has happened historically, this has been a winner. Most of the things that they're doing have been losers. I mean, Obama talks about how he's going to spread the wealth, and like most people who set out to spread the wealth, he ends up spreading poverty.
He ended up spreading poverty. A lot of the people in Wall Street today who are demonstrating in Wall Street today, who are claiming they're poor, saying they have a right to a job and a right to an income. They don't have a right. They have the right to look for a job, but not the right to get a job from the government.
Well, it's going to be hard for them to get a job if they're not looking for a job and they're sleeping out there in the parks. I can't imagine any working people who can afford to spend 4 weeks sleeping out in some park and enjoying the good life, as they define it. These people obviously are not those kinds of, they're not working people.
Got it. Professor Thomas Sowell from the Hoover Institution at Stanford, it's a pleasure. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.